Grandpa Song himself couldn't wait for this rejuvenation pill, and when he held it in his hand, he wanted to take it down immediately. After all, he had seen Tianqi after taking the medicine, and knew that this rejuvenation pill had a superb effect, so he did feel relieved when he held it in his hand, for fear of unexpected changes. Only if you eat it, you can really feel safe. Now that Charlie has also said it, old Sun Song naturally agreed in a hurry and said gratefully, "Mr. Wade, then I will take it now." After finishing speaking, the old Master Song carefully took the rejuvenation pill in his hand, put it in his mouth with excitement, and swallowed it into his abdomen. As soon as it entered the entrance, Mr. Song felt that the pill had turned into a stream of heat into his limbs and veins, and his whole body was warm, as if he had returned to his teenage years, and every cell was full of vitality. Like Tianqi, every part of his body was nourished by medicine, and his whole body was glowing with the long-lost youth. He was even surprised to find that the dark wounds and old problems he had left many years ago were gradually disappearing, and the wrinkles on his face had become lighter and tighter. The scalp also feels itchy, and it seems that new hair is growing. In the eyes of everyone, at this time Father Song had undergone an astonishing change. Originally, Mr. Song's rickety body became straight, and his white hair was gradually turning black. Although not all turned black, a considerable part of it turned black. The age lines on the face have also faded to an extent visible to the naked eye, and the spirit are completely different from before. If Mr. Song looked like an old master in his 80s and dying, he now looks like he is in his 60s at most. Moreover, the spirit of the old Master Song has also become very good all of a sudden. The look in his eyes is a bit of a middle-aged person. Originally, these people who dismissed the rejuvenation pill were already stunned by the deterioration of old Master Song at this moment. No one has seen such a miraculous sight. Even Warnya was completely shocked by this sight. The former rickety old master has now become a gray-haired middle-aged and old master. This reminds Warnya to think of the old master who embraced her in his arms when her father died 10 years ago and told her not to be afraid, that everything still has him. At that time, grandfather was only in his 60s, and he looked exactly the same as he is now. In other words, Grandpa's life clock, because of this rejuvenation pill, has gone backwards. His lifespan will be extended by more than 10 years. Does this mean that Grandpa can live to be 100 years old in the future? Warnya burst into tears of joy. The other relatives of the Song family didn't really care about her. Her father passed away. They were grieving on the surface, but they were celebrating in their hearts. There was one less person in the inheritance competition with them. Therefore, her only relative in the world is Father Song. Of course she hopes that Mr. Song can live a long life. When Mr. Song was dying, he once told her that the biggest regret was that he didn't see her married. The old master said that Warnya had lost her parents since she was a child, and she was the most reassuring child and his favorite. Of course, it was also the child who was the most sincere and filial to him. Therefore, he was particularly afraid that he would suddenly die, and Warnya did not marry and start a family. In that case, she will become a lonely person. Mr. Song hopes to watch her marry, and to marry a man who loves her, she loves, is reliable, stable, and is able to take care and protect her. Only in that way can he die with confidence. But now, Warnya knows that Grandpa doesn't have to worry about not seeing her getting married. He has extended his lifespan for at least more than 10 years. Not only can he see her getting married, he can even see that she has children, and he can enjoy the family happiness of 4 generations under one roof. Thinking of this, she couldn't help but look at Charlie. If she is to marry someone and have children, she only wants to marry Charlie alone. But, will Charlie fall in love with her? Will Charlie be willing to abandon his current marriage that is not true and be with her? Thinking of this, Warnya was also a little worried. At this time, the other people on the scene had already exploded. They saw with their own eyes the earth-shaking changes that had taken place in Mr. Song, and they were all excited as if they had seen God. It's impossible. Why did Mr. Song become so young all at once? My God, this is the effect of rejuvenation pill? A medicine is a miracle. This is a magic medicine. Mr. Wade is really a dragon on Earth. I also want a rejuvenation pill. Me too. I am willing to buy even 10 million. 10 million? What are you going to do with chicken feathers? I will buy it for 100 million. FCK, if Mr. Wade wants to sell, I will pay 200 million. The scene has been overwhelmed by awe. If you don't see it with your own eyes, who can believe that there is really a rejuvenation in this world? This kind of thing that can only be seen on TV, turned out to be really true. The people present are all successful people, most of whom are in their 40s or 50s, or even older. People of this age have already felt the cruelty and pain of the passing of time. For men in their 50s and 60s, wrinkles have already crawled on their cheeks, and their physical fitness is much worse than when they were young. Backaches and lumbar muscle strain are inevitable. As for hair loss, blessing, wake up, and the rapid degradation of that ability, it is also unspeakable pain for middle-aged and elderly men.